I think that's what really surprises me about these satsangs, how I always think, oh, it's going to be so mind-based. It's
Yes.
not. It really,
Well,
it's a
no.
surprise.
What satsang is we start from there, but we use the mind to sink into the experience. That's true satsang. Now you can experience satsangs where it is very mindy, yes, and I've been part of those in my life as well.
Yeah.
But to me, true satsang is meeting in truth. That's the rough translation of it. And that is not on the mind level. It starts there and it includes that. It doesn't exclude that. It includes everything, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wonderful. I must admit, I've had like with you, some of the deepest experiences have been in the satsang, which when it happened, I was like, wow, I really, it was a nice chef kind of got it more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's also nice because we see the mind as the enemy, rather than,
Yes, we do. I think that's why the satsang is so beautiful, because it doesn't exclude the mind. There's so much in the spiritual sort of um, milieu, I don't know what word to use, but the spiritual domain that
yeah.
makes the mind the enemy.
Yeah.
And here the mind is not the enemy. Here the mind is recognized as fleeting, yes, not essentially who we are, yes, but also very much part and parcel of this experience of being human. And so therefore it's not wrong. It's just temporary. It's just not essentially who we are, but it is a part of the experience, the embodied experience of consciousness playing this role of this human being in this moment.
Yeah.
So nothing to be avoidant of, nothing to make an enemy of. It's to see the deeper perspective of where the mind fits into all of this. Then we see this is nothing to be at war with. Satsang always starts with a question. And it doesn't necessarily have to look like a question, but it always starts from a question. It's not a generalization. It's always a personal something, niggle. When it's too general, too abstract, this is where it tends to sit in the mind. The satsangs that I really love are the ones where someone brings forth something really relevant to them. Something, even if it feels mundane and stupid, and why am I talking about this? This is not spiritual. But it's always those that offer the crack into the deep exploration. It all bottoms out in the same place. It doesn't matter where we start. But the more intimate, the more, ironically, the more personal the place that we come from in our questions, in our exploration, the deeper I find we can go. So sometimes someone might come with a very abstract sort of generalization. And the question is, where's that generalization? Where's that general question coming from? And you, of course, you don't have to share that. We're in a group setting, so that it might be too personal, and that's okay. But at least for you to recognize where it's coming from. Because then it's alive. It has an aliveness, and there's where the exploration really gets juicy, where there's that aliveness, where it's not just a knowledge question, and there's the mind satsang, the sort of, I need to find this out, I need to know this. But actually, even that need to know this comes from something quite tender in your own experience. Why do you need to know this? May not want to share that publicly, and that's, like I said, that's okay. But to acknowledge that, because that allows us to go into the depths of it together. That's what I find beautiful about satsang. Traversing that experience together, that exploration together. Then it's not conceptual, it's lived.